If Nigeria was never amalgamated in 1914 and never colonized by the British, the land we call Nigeria today would probably not exist as a single country. Instead, the region may have grown into several powerful, independent nations, each shaped by its own culture, religion, political system, and economic strength. This is a deep hypothesis, a question worth asking. What could Africa's giant have become? Before Europeans arrived, this land was already home to advanced civilizations, organized kingdoms with systems of law, trade routes, armies, arts, taxation, diplomacy, and education. The Oyo Empire, the Benin Empire, the Sokoto Caliphate, the Kanem-Bornu Empire, the Igbo Republican communities, the Niger Delta trading kingdoms of Boni and Opobo. These were not primitive societies. Many were already trading with North Africa, the Middle East, and Europe long before colonization. Without amalgamation, modern West Africa might contain a Yoruba nation in the southwest, an Igbo republic in the southeast, a northern Islamic federation led by Hausa Fulani states, an Edo and Benin kingdom state, and Niger Delta maritime republics. These nations may have been rivals, allies, or economic unions, much like Europe today. Colonization interrupted African political evolution. Without European control, traditional monarchies may have transformed into constitutional monarchies. Indigenous laws may have evolved into modern legal systems. African languages could have dominated education and science. Imagine universities teaching advanced medicine and engineering in Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Edo, and Kanuri. Development would reflect African identity, not a copy of European models. The Benin Empire was already famous for urban planning, bronze artwork, military organization, and international trade. Some historians compare ancient Benin City to the great European cities of its era. Without British destruction in 1897, Benin may have grown into a technological monarchy, a global cultural center, and one of Africa's richest tourism economies. Its famous bronzes would still be in Africa, not scattered across European museums. The Sokoto Caliphate was one of the largest empires in Africa in the 19th century, with Islamic courts, scholarship systems, libraries, and trade networks across the Sahara. Without colonial interruption, northern states may have become major Islamic academic centers, trade powers connecting Africa to the Middle East, and economically strong desert and agricultural economies. Cities like Kano could rival Dubai or Cairo today. The Igbo people historically valued trade, innovation, individual achievement, and entrepreneurship. Without colonial restructuring and civil conflict, the Southeast may have evolved into a manufacturing powerhouse, Africa's version of Taiwan or South Korea. Markets like Aba and Onitsha could have become global industrial cities far earlier. Religion in modern Nigeria was heavily shaped by colonial influence. Without colonization, Islam may dominate much of the north naturally. Indigenous African religions may remain stronger, and Christianity may still arrive through trade and missions, but less politically tied to Europe. There may have been far less religious competition. Even without colonization, Africa would still face global pressures: slave trade, foreign influence, economic competition. But African states may have negotiated with Europe as equals, the way Japan or Thailand managed to partially do. Natural resources like oil, gold, and palm produce may have benefited local kingdoms more directly rather than foreign companies. One important truth: colonization united enemies and divided allies. Without amalgamation, ethnic identity may remain stronger. Some regions may enjoy greater stability, but rival states could also fight for dominance. West Africa may resemble Europe before the European Union, multiple powerful neighboring states with shifting alliances. The absence of colonization would not automatically create paradise. Human ambition, politics, and power struggles would still exist. Perhaps the biggest difference would be psychological. Colonization affected education, language, religion, beauty standards, governance, and self-worth. Without it, many Africans may have grown up seeing African civilization as the center, not the shadow, of world history. Traditional knowledge, fashion, names, spirituality, and philosophy might carry greater global influence today. The tragedy of colonization was not only the loss of resources, It was the interruption of African destiny. The land now called Nigeria was already developing great civilizations before Europe arrived. Colonization changed the direction of that growth, politically, economically, culturally, and psychologically. If Nigeria had never been amalgamated or colonized, West Africa today may consist of several strong African nations, shaped by their own histories rather than foreign borders. Some may have become richer than modern Nigeria, some may have become weaker, some may have gone to war, some may have become global powers. But one thing is certain: Africa's story would have been written more by Africans themselves.